Escape giving you guys a quick video. I want to share with you just some insights. If you want to become a profitable trader, you clicked on this video to gain some knowledge, some insight. Something I could always say, when I make these videos, I'm trying to talk to trying to talk to a younger version of myself, because I came to these trenches. I came to this battlefield we call trading. I came here with, ambition. I came here with, the idea to be a winner. And that's the overall what I want to transition, and what I want to get you to understand, that this whole thing about day trading or trading in general, it's going to be a journey that not only will benefit you in the long run, but you got to stick to it, and you have to be consistent, do your reps and sets, and want to have that will to win. So overall, the market's been dumping for the news of the Trump tariffs and the China tariffs and all these tariffs that in all reality is orchestrated. It's like watching a Hollywood movie play out. Okay, the market is always going to be volatile. There's always going to be pumps and dumps. Okay, going forward, this Trump administration, okay, there's going to be massive events happening just like anything else. And what you could do as a day trader is just learn a skill. Learn, very simple, our strategy, just to break it down to you. We look at this like a battlefield. Okay, I call it scanning the trenches. You scan the trenches, you determine direction, and you perfect your entries and exits. You try to focus on making quality trades over quantity. You do your quality trades, you don't FOMO back in. You leave a winner, you withdraw your winnings, and you call it a day. Come back next trading session. I've trained, tens of students. My goal is to train as many students to leave a legacy. And I'm trying to do with these videos is give as much, free value as possible. If you want to become a winner, all I can say is subscribe to the channel. Ask any questions below. We're here to help winners, raising winners. I consistently love creating this style of content, because this is, something I'm very passionate about. Not only has trading Bitcoin gave me financial freedom, but it has given freedom to many of my students I've trained personally with consultations. It's given financial freedom to those that believe in themselves. Because in reality, when you trade these markets, what's actually happening, it's a transfer of wealth between those that are skilled, between those that educate themselves, between those that actually have the will to win, and versus the emotional type of traders, the ones that close at a loss, the one that enter when there's no clear direction, the ones that are guess trading, the ones that don't really have the idea of investing into themselves, that don't want to invest into themselves, that want to quit so early. And if you got into day trading and you want to quit already, not even giving it a year in, not even getting it 2 years in, then all I could say is, doesn't matter what industry you get yourself into, doesn't matter what other field you get into, what you're gonna see is something very similar happening, and you have to have the mentality, of a G. That's what I call it, a mentality of a winner. So, my guys, let me show you a quick rundown of inside the Discord. My Discord, I'm building it to be a great Discord, not just any ordinary Discord. My Discord is only closed. It's really closed, niche down to only people who are taking this seriously. Okay, we've been saying direction is short since the morning. Scanning the trenches. Red Army is here. We lost direction too long. That was 78,000. I've been shorting in and out. Shorted in and out. 2,000 here. I placed another trade earlier, closed it, boom boom boom, $4,734, my guys. Talking about a whole, how can I say it? down payment, monthly payment, to do many things, my guys, bringing freedom to many. Okay, when I hear people out here, trying to show hate to creators out here, showing, results. There's creators out here. I'm not talking to myself only. I'm talking about anybody else in the day trading space. Anybody else that's a coach, a mentor. Obviously, if you're here, creating content, obviously you're gonna want to show some of your results. This is being realistic. You want to show, why you should listen to me. So when I'm here showing you my results, I'm expected, to be hated on. But in all reality, that does not, I sleep good at night knowing that I've helped more people. I've helped my parents, a lot more. I've helped my loved ones a lot more. I helped, the people around me a lot more than the people who just judge and hate and try to do assumptions. So if you're understanding me 100% clearly, when I show you results on here, it's only for educational purposes. It's only to show you that you have to have the will to win. And so it's really just to show you and motivate you to not give up. That's all reality. That's the reality of it. So, just about like over an hour ago, I gave my guys a pro tip. And I just want to share with you because this is the real truth. You can't be trading without emotions. You can't be trading with emotions. You have to, when you enter a trade, have clear conviction to win. Let me have my robot read it.
Scape, 9:48 p.m. at everyone pro tip. This is where I said don't short the bottom on the 3 minutes. The 3 minutes makes it very clear, but you get emotional and want to defy this logic and do whatever you want. This is a trait everyone has, and the only way to break it is emotional detachment. You need to have the stomach to be down 60% in order to be up 60%. This gets really simple when you stop trading and do what I do. I do not trade. I play a head game on the market. I read its next move. I play with human emotions. I know when you will FOMO. I know every emotion you feel when you trade, but I trade by the rules of war. Never break the rules with emotions.
There you go. There you have it. You have to become emotionless. You have to say, I feel nothing. You see this robot here. Look, when he entered the trade, when he grabbed that sheet of paper, whatever it is, he enters the trade. He's using his strategy. He's folding it. He's doing what the strategy that he's been taught, and it's working. You see, he's folding this shirt very neatly, and look at him. He's emotionless. Do you see any emotions in here? And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. You have to become emotionless, and that's how you're going to become a great trader. Aside from that, I want every single person who follows me to become a successful trader. And that, includes even the people who doubt me or people who are negative. It doesn't matter to me, because I know at the end of the day, the people who follow me want to learn. So if you want to learn, my guys, and if you're still listening to this video, here's what I offer to my people. My YouTube is for everybody. My socials, my Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, everything, is for everybody. But, I try to give as much value as I can in these videos. But I understand, when you go to get a driver's license, and drive a vehicle, okay, do you just get in the vehicle without any knowledge, without any expertise, without any experience? Or do you, go to the driver's ed, you listen to an instructor, you do your test, you pass the test, you put in the hours behind the wheel, you get good at it, and then you're on your way. Simple as that. That's how I look at trading. Same thing when you enter such a like a beautiful, a great, limitless industry called day trading, called leverage trading, whatever you want to call it. The same thing. You enter this, is risky in general. Trading has risks, just like anything. Life has risks. You go outside, you don't know if you're gonna get run over. Everything's a risk in life. But trading also has massive upside potential. And if you come here and want to educate yourself, want to actually go into boot camp, as I call it, or go into driver's ed school, or go into actually educating yourself, then that's what I offer, is the Discord G Trenches. Discord G Trenches is what I really crafted to benefit all the people who are wanting to become a great trader. I'm leaving a legacy in this Discord. I'm giving consultations. I'm giving you guys, my time. I'm giving you guys a bunch of videos, a bunch of, information that you cannot find in Google. And I'm giving you guys something that, I wish I knew when I first started trading. And this is really meant to save you thousands of dollars, frustration, a whole bunch of liquidations. This is really meant for you to, avoid those, common noob moves. Avoid those common mistakes that I've made, we all made. But this is in a way broken down to shortening your trading proficiency, to increase it, to shorten your learning curve. And if you understand, how powerful having the right information is, at an early stage in your day trading career, you're going to be saving yourself from massive headaches. And that's what I offer my students here in the G Trenches. So to break it down, I'm going to give you guys, I offer 3 tiers inside the Discord. Simple as this, I offer monthly to my guys out here that just want to get their feet wet, just want to kind of see what the Discord is like. The monthly is as cheap as 1 Solana a month. For 1 Solana a month, what do you get? Okay, you get daily trade updates. I'm out here in the trenches every single day giving you guys what is current direction, what's my taste of the market, when I'm entering, if applicable, and giving you guys the opportunity to trade over my shoulder. That's what you get for 1 Solana a month, which is dust, which is peanuts. If you cannot, see the value in that, I totally understand. I have a whole bunch of people who do see the value in this and understand if they had, if they're here trading, with like an all-star player like myself, they're going to be benefiting and becoming an all-star player themselves over time. That's how you got to look at it. For my guys that want to take it seriously, I give them access to the full top half of the Discord, which includes daily trade updates. It includes how I scan the trenches, what's my, overall how to determine direction. I give them my G strategies, which include the common pump patterns, the common dump patterns, the common times. When we see these massive movements, when is the best time to trade, how to set up your chart, the mentality when trading. Everything's included, and it's all education. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. I offer that, for 0.015 Bitcoin. Okay, 0.015. How much is that? Let me break it down for you guys. If you're listening, you want to actually change your life, you want to improve your trading career, that's $1,100. I know a lot of you guys, without the proper education, you've already lost more to these markets for not having the right education, for not understanding how to properly determine direction. Many of you guys, make longs when there's clear directions to short, or vice versa. You short when there's clear direction to long. I'm here to give you guys a real education. For my guys that actually want to do a one-on-one, or actually want to, do a consultation with me, what I'm doing for you guys, you have to hear me out on this. I'm going to answer 99.9% of your questions before you even ask them. I'm going to teach you the secret on how to properly enter and how to properly exit these markets. When to enter, when to exit. On top of that, I'm going to answer all your questions. I'm going to give you guys the real truth about trading. Give you guys a clear strategy on how to improve. I'm going to give you guys everything that I've, taken me years to learn. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, in experience, just packed down for only 0.03 Bitcoin. 0.03 Bitcoin for the full package, which includes, 1 year of the Discord, includes a consultation with me, it includes how to determine direction, how to, perfect your entries and exits. That's what the main thing is about. The consultation is mainly about perfecting your entries and perfecting your exits. That's 2261. And if you're here listening and actually, if you're still here listening, it means you're trying to actually improve your trading career. You're trying to actually change your life and actually trying to, make this, become an income to you. If you actually want to improve, I'm giving a temporary discount. Just mention it, when you DM me or email me. I'm doing it for 0.025 for this amount, at the time of this video. 0.025 Bitcoin. I'm helping people become a better trader. I'm giving you guys the top tier, top consultation, top mentorship available. 1 year of Discord is what I believe it's going to take for you to become, such a great trader that this is going to be a career for you. After the 1 year to be all reality. If you want to renew, that's up to you. I'm always going to be here to help as many people as possible, keep it real with you guys. But what I'm trying to do is actually leave winners, create winners, leave the winners, and let them become self-sufficient. Let them become, learn how to fish, So 1 year in the boot camp, it's like entering school, entering college for 1 year. Boom, boom, boom. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to be in not only like-minded community, everybody in my community trades just the same strategy as me, And if that sounds good to you, link below is my link tree. There's my email. There's my DM for Telegram. If you'd like to join the G Trenches, we're here. I would say this, there's going to be three types of people going forward in 2025. There's people who are going to watch these markets, go up and down, watching it happen, wishing, they had the education on how to profit. There's going to be people, wondering what's happening. You go outside, you're going to go ask your local, barista. Go ask your local taxi driver. They're going to be talking about it, like the news, like tariffs and all this stuff, but they don't know they actually could short, during these times and profit massively. They don't know that, So there's people that wonder what's going on. Okay, are you that person? If you're watching this video, you're watching it happen. So you're not wondering. You're one step ahead of most people. The final person is the people that are making it happen. So if you're here actually wanting to, not only just watch, but learn and make it happen, then that's the person that you want to become. That's what I offer you. That's what I'm teaching you, is actually how to become financially free via day trading. And not only just benefit, because best believe, there's going to be massive movements in Bitcoin. Best believe the markets are always going to be moving in a way that benefits those that have the right information, the right education, the right training, the right community behind them. So that sounds good to you. You actually want to not only just watch it happen, but make it happen. You know what to do. DM is below, giving you guys the actual information I wish I knew when I first started trading, which would have, not only have progressed my career much further, much quicker, but I'm actually, giving you guys everything inside the Discord. And I wish, this is something I wish I knew when I was, in the beginning, a baby G, as I call it. I'm trying to make these baby G's, become top G's, these mini G's to become top G's. So if you want to be a top G trader, top great, great in a grinder, a great trader, improve, I can show you endless amounts of testimonials, people out here actually, making this an income in them, we got here my guys out here in the testimonial room, always killing it with the shorts, always killing it with the longs when there's direction to the long. We have back trade over $400 one trade with Johnny, 80%. We trade between 50 and 60x. Guys out here trading consistently. Not only are they making profits, but they're actually learning a skill. They're on, like, it's all about not worrying about making the money now. Right now, you got to be focused on making, learning a skill such as trading. So if that's you, if you have the mentality, not only, if you have the mentality of not only, wanting to make money, but actually wanting to learn a skill and wanting to improve yourself, then it's a no-brainer. You will come and get an education, get driver's ed, get your license, get your ability to become profitable, ask any questions, ongoing support, improving your trading ability, actually making this an income. I know many of you guys wish you knew how to determine direction as good as I do it. You could see how accurate I am in my daily trade updates. I could tell you the moment direction shifts. I could tell you the moment when direction is long, when direction is short. All you got to do after that is perfect your entries and your exits. Place quality trades over quantity and make those quality trades count and have conviction. Because if you want to be, profitable, that means that you have to have the mentality, you have to have the will to win. So yes, when you enter trades, you're gonna have, sometimes down. Some of these trades are gonna be down on you, 20%, 60%, whatever it is. If you didn't enter properly, that's what happens. You're massively down. But once you get the consultation, once you learn, you become enlightened. It's kind of like NZT. You become enlightened. Okay, you're blind. Most of you guys are blind now. Entering just blindly. I remove the band and I give you guys the actual illumination you guys need for you to become free, limitless. So we trade in Margex for my guys out there listening. Margex is a great exchange. Not only is it available nationwide, internationally, it's available just with an email, password, URN. Yes, I recommend a VPN. If you want a recommendation in VPN, I'll be adding one soon in my link tree. Aside from that, I would recommend you sign up Margex. Link below is very simple, very boutique exchange to trade in. You can trade in 50x, 60x, up to 100x. A quick breakdown on how the leverage works. You have 50x, for our newbies. 50x combined with clear direction, you're gonna be winning. Okay, if you properly enter, properly exit. For my more advanced people, we have 60x. Okay, and Margex, you can lower the leverage to save your trade. So let's say you enter 60x. Okay, you didn't enter properly. You can lower the leverage for you to have a higher tolerance in the trade, so you don't get liquidated and survive the trade longer. So you can survive the movement, survive the overall the whole volatility. So for my guys, if you're still listening, 100x is for my straight degens. Okay, it's for those guys that not only have the will to win, but they have conviction and they have balls of steel. So you enter 100x only when there's clear direction to one side or the other. And on top of that, you only enter 100x when you have mastered your entries and your exits. Because if you leverage at 100x, what it happens, okay, you're going to be using more of the money of the exchange, yes, but you have to have conviction in your trade. You have to have, it's like going it's like going 160, 200 miles per hour in the Bugatti, okay? You have to have a proper education, okay? If not, what's going to happen? You crash, get liquidated. So if you don't want to become wrecked, okay, I recommend you, when you're starting off, 50x. Once you feel more comfortable, start winning those trades, bump it to 60x. If there's clear direction, you could try 100x and tone it down. You could place a trade at 100x and tone it down to 50 if necessary. The whole thing with you, what I'm trying to do is actually help you guys understand that there's endless opportunity, and I believe trading is the #1 skill you should be learning going forward. And this is something that you could trade in the bull or bear market. It doesn't matter what market you're in, as long as you have the will to win. So Bitcoin is crashing as we speak, okay? And there's going to be 3 types of people. What are you going to do? You're going to wonder what's happening. Watch it happen or participate in making it happen. Link is down below. Drop any questions. Drop any comments. Tell me your thoughts. I know you're listening. I want to know what you're going through, because I was inside those same steps, same shoes, back in 2021. I was a curious, mini G. I was a curious, individual wanting to learn this skill. And I understand the hunger. I understand the ambition. I understand, you guys feel frustrated. Okay, you see massive movements. You see massive volatility. You get nervous. You get scared. There's crazy amounts of movements. But if I could shorten your learning, if I could improve your trading, if I could do whatever it takes to save you, from frustration, that's what we're here for. That's what the mentorship is for, and that's what we're gonna be doing. So yeah, any other questions down below, links down below. We're here raising winners. Catch you in the next video.